2, 3.
I have 24, 22, and 20-inch bundles. I just want to make sure it fits the circumference of my head. Actually, like right there. You don't want it too big. Okay. Go straight to the back, and that is 12. Okay. So I'm gonna do right here, all the way. Oh, I need to come up some more. Come up some more. So your U part is going to be much more smaller than a full wig. Which is cool because it has a lot of room within the cap to get pulled from the needle and thread. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It can come down just a tad bit though. All right, so now that I know the hairline to the nape is the perfect measurement, I want to hold it in place, right? And also hold the top in place with just one. Okay. And then from ear to ear, I'm going to measure. Yeah, because I got an anchor braid right there. Okay. Little braid, there got a braid right here. And that is 13 and a half. So let's see. Oh, that's a little too perfect. I want to bring it down, just give it a little room. I'm gonna bring it down a little bit and then hold it in place with a T-pin. And then that way a track can get sewn on at the bottom and then right over top of the T-pin also. All right, so this is the direct measurements of my head, and that's how you measure your head for the U part. Child, after this, you don't need no sew-in. And let me tell you what happened, the reason why I'm even doing this sew-in. I mean, the reason why I'm even making this U-part wig. I bought this hair for me to get an actual sew-in from a hairstylist. Sometimes I miss the feeling of being served and I want to sit down in a chair. Nothing wrong with it. But her bio says my city, but it also says another city. But when I booked it about 2 weeks later, I booked weeks in advance. 2 weeks later, she's like, hey, we need to reschedule. I'm like, okay. And so then I reach out. I'm like, while I have you on the phone, give me your address. Y'all, she all the way in Georgia. She's far away from me. And I was like, oh, I thought you were in my city. And she's like, well, I do go there. Like, I travel there and do hair sometime, but not this time. So I was like, darn it. And that's when I'm like, forget it. I'm going to make a U-part wig. Because that's, I mean, honestly, that's the look I'm going for. Getting a sew-in. So we're going to make it do what it do. And now you ain't got to go get no sew-in. You prop this wig right on. Throw some big old dookie braids in. And now you cute for the holidays. Okay. So now the rest is easy. If you know how to do needle and thread. My channel is not for people that don't even know how to do needle and thread. My channel is not for the people that don't even know how to French braid. You can watch, but as far as like learning and slowing it down, like the reason why I make these is for you to like actually learn and get like different ideas and stuff. Yeah, I can't teach nobody how to braid. Unless you watch me a lot, you know. Should I measure how far back? I think I'm going to. So, well, no, it needs to start right here. 6. Okay. Y'all probably can't see it, but I definitely can tell. Wow. That's a deep U part. But that's how I like my U parts. I don't like the U only right here, you know, unless you have short amount of hair. But this video is for people who got thick hair, because I'm making it for myself, you know, and I have really thick hair. So this is the hairline. That's where the U part will end. All right, I have my needle and thread already made, very long. All right, so the only time I go through the weft, let me put my bonnet back on. Can y'all even take me serious right now? Okay. There we go. Okay, so the only time I go through the weft is at the very beginning and at the end. And I'm going to double the weft because I have 3 bundles, and y'all see how small the cap is because it's a U part. But I still like my U parts to be full. And then also, you know, shedding happens, very normal. And so over time, the wig will thin. And I like my wigs to last as long as possible, especially doing all this work. So because I'm doubling it, I'm going to have to go through 2 wefts. So I went through 1 weft, and now I'm about to go through the other one because it's doubled. I folded it. And then, ooh, things happen. That's why in my Amazon storefront, I didn't link this. I linked the stand-up one because you can adjust the height. You can sit it right in front of you without always having to lean towards the table. It's just much better for y'all. You know, I know the problems that this one causes, so why would I tell y'all to get this one? And it's here soon. I'm going to have my own standing tripod. Okay, so this is the back. Ear, ear. These are the ears. Lay all the weft over. Okay. Oh. I'm probably going to use all 3 packs easily, doing a U shape. This video might be unedited. It's easier to follow along, like especially when you're trying to learn something. It's so easy to follow along when it's not sped up. There's no cuts in the video. It's just like in real time. And as slow as I'm going, because this needle, it's a fresh needle. So it's like, I literally just bought this from the store. It keeps snagging my skin. I think I'm about to foul it a little bit. So because I'm I'm wrapping the thread around the needle before I pull it all the way through. And that is to create a knot because I am now running low on thread. So I'll be cutting it soon. There you go. And you want these to be tight because the more you wear the wig and you're going to be brushing and combing, you don't want the teeth of the comb to go through these holes. Okay, so you can either guess when to start folding and go back the other way, or you can measure your U-part. Let me see if I can use this as a mirror. Okay, so okay, my U-part is 4 inches wide. So let's see. Oh, I went a little too, but it's okay because what happens is when you cut the wig, it kind of, you'll be able to pull it in as much as you want, you know, and pull apart just a little bit. So I actually, since I've already made this, I'm gonna go ahead and start the next row by bending it. Okay, I'm gonna bend it. I'm not gonna, when I fold it, I don't fold it on top of each other. I fold it above. I'll fold this row above that row, like that. And then I'll tack it down with needle. But you still wanna make sure you pull tight. I'm gonna hold that fold down. There we go. See? And don't worry about any loose hair going any type of way because once we wash it, the water makes it heavy enough to fall in place and it'll dry perfectly flat. Right. If you are a beginner, what you can also do is take a white marker, white permanent marker or crown or whatever, and you want to make lines, U-shaped lines all across the cap, so then that way you can follow. I just want to get done. I don't necessarily need no lines. But it'll definitely make it easier for anybody that may be new to making wigs. Now going back the other way, because I'm right-handed, I still pull the needle and thread. I have it pulling, not too tight, but you just want to do it tight enough to where it's not going to make any of the rest of the threads loose. So as you're pulling it, you go underneath the thread and go through the cap. Then you wrap it around one time and then pull the needle, just like that. So again, you pull it tight, you go underneath the weft through the cap. Before you pull the needle all the way through, you take the thread and wrap it around one time and then pull. And you see how it's all still tight? Very simple. And you're not pulling tight. You don't want to put a hole into the cap. This is so pretty. This hair is so pretty. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have a link for the Unice, however you say it. I don't have any links for that because it isn't sponsored. But just go to their website. Get y'all some bundles for Christmas. All right, here we are. We only have a little bit of thread left. And so I'm going to go underneath the width, through the cap, and before I pull the needle all the way out, I'm gonna wrap it around more than one time though. 4 or 5 is good, and that's enough to make a knot. And then you wanna push down on it to secure the knot. And you cut, just like that. You don't wanna cut close to the knot because then you might cut the knot. All right, so I am done with the second bundle, right? And I'm looking, and this is where I have to stop. This is where the last one is gonna go. But if I put the last one right here, it's not gonna be even, right? We got some gaps right here. So since it ends right here, I'm thinking, let's see. I'm thinking to start right here and go slightly over top of this, which I know is gonna cause a little hump, but it's okay. I'm just trying to trace and see how much wiggle room I got. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start right here. I'm gonna come over this way, and I'm still gonna fold. Now, normally I would cut, like the closer I get to the top, I would cut because I wouldn't want a whole bunch of knots at the top. But again, my hair is so thick, this much of my hair is gonna be out. I highly doubt that I have knots sticking up. And if so, I know how to work it. So for time's sake, I'm not gonna be cutting the wefts. I'm gonna keep folding it even at the top. Now these tracks up here, they ended up being very close together because I'm trying to squeeze in as much hair as possible so that I can get a smooth U instead of a whole bunch of folded pieces. So that's the only reason why they're really close together up at the top. But normally for my wigs, I always do 1 inch apart, especially with a double track like this. So now I'm a little worried that this may be too thick, but like I said, hair does shed. So if it's too thick, being optimistic, you just tell yourself, well, it is going to shed, so it's going to thin out over time, which will make it last longer. All right, so now I am at the very end and I'm going to cut the weft. So it's basically the end of it. So that means you go through the weft. Make sure it's tight, no loose thread. And then I'm just going to do it again to just secure it. Maybe do another knot. Now we're going to cut without cutting that knot. I won't comb out any tangles from the needle and thread. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut close. I don't want it cut close because as you can see, the thread is coming through right here. What if I cut right here? Then it might end up unraveling. I'm not sure. So I never cut really close. Honestly, I'm going to end up cutting down the middle. And then once I have it sewn onto my head, then I'll cut whatever excess cap I need to cut. But this is just a way to ensure that you don't make no mistakes after doing all of that work. Oh, it feels real tight on here. This is good. You see how it's opening up? So that's why I said, even with you measuring it, it's okay if you make it a little tighter than what it is because it ends up opening up. Okay, that's all I'm gonna do. Okay, now I need to go around and pick out all of the T-pins. Okay, so it is important. This next step is so crucial. You cannot skip this part. You cannot skip this part, okay? We have to give this wig an apple cider vinegar bath. All you're gonna do is fill your sink up. It's not gonna take long, but this is really important with water. And then you just wanna take a capsize full of apple cider vinegar, pour it into the water. That's it. I used to sell hair. I had a manufacturer and I was selling this hair like the C word, okay? Made thousands of dollars in the hair game. So trust me, I've seen the worst of worst with hair that is traveling from a different country, from a dirty factory, right into the hands, and people only shampoo it and think that's enough. It is not. Apple cider vinegar, if it kills off pesticides in your fruit, you do the math, okay? This is so beautiful. This is what it looks like on the inside. We have a deep U part. Yay! And then, y'all, I'm itching thinking about it. We gonna just dip it in the water. And you just want it to soak in hot water, a hot apple cider vinegar bath. And if you want, you can add shampoo, a moisturizing shampoo to it, or even Dawn soap. Shampoo does not get rid of bugs, okay? And I've even did this before I made the wig, and it just still wasn't enough. That bundle that's real tight at the top of the weft is not cleaning good. You need the hair spread out. So that's why I always clean it real good afterwards, because you don't know what's hiding in that hair, and you don't want it on your scalp and resting, and then comes out when you're resting, and now you have an inflamed scalp. Okay? That feels like your scalp is crawling. It's not your scalp. I'm sorry, I don't mean to scare anybody, but this is a really important step that I don't want you to miss. I'm trying to set this up and it ain't working. I have this soaking. It should be about done. It's been 10 minutes. So now I'm going to shampoo with silicone mix and conditioner. Yay, I love silicone mix. It smells so, so good. I do it for the smell, honestly. I stretch as much as it'll go so that it can dry quickly. It ain't gonna dry quickly, but it'll dry faster is what I should say. All right, we're gonna let that dry. If you got a hooded dryer, even better. That's why I like to make my wigs at night, so then it's dry by the morning. But while that's dry, I have other work to do. All right, now all I have to do is sew it on, or you would clip it on. And that's if you want to have clips in your scalp, but I don't. No, thank you. There and there, okay. And now try to keep it like right in place. I just wanted to make sure the U part was lined up with my U part. And now I'm gonna hold it still and flip over forward, and then bring it down some, because it is gonna stretch. Got my needle and thread. And I don't want, this one feels a little loose already. I didn't braid it tight enough. So I don't want all that pressure. I'm gonna do the next one up. Sew it on this one. And I'm just letting the wig, if you bend over far enough forward, the wig should lay right on top of the braids. So then you can have your two hands to sew it on. All right, so I have the back tapped down. And I just want to keep measuring it. Bring it forward. Bring the corner of the wig right at the corner of the braid. This one. So if you're sewing it on like me, the best thing to do is to have about 3 of these pre-made. And don't have them long, because I only did about this much in the back, and now I'm doing the top. Okay, I found a hole to go through the thread, because I don't want to let go of this hand because it's holding the wig right where I need it to be. There we go. There we go. Okay. Now the thread is holding the wig where I need it to be. Okay. Now I'm just gonna keep sewing on top of that anchor braid. I definitely should have pinned this up better. This leave out is all in the way. Make sure you go in the middle of the loop. All right, so now we're running out of thread. Oh, y'all can't see. All right. Now we're running out of thread, so I'm gonna wrap it around. Before I pull the needle all the way through, I'm gonna wrap it around 4 times to make a knot. All right. Okay. Yeah, I only have 1 of these, and I wish I had about 3 right now, because now I gotta make it some more. All right, so I tucked down the back right here and right here so far. So next, I'm gonna do the side. I need to pin this back though. Get it out the way. Okay, and then I'm gonna pin down right here.
Why do I love watching people doing their hair?
That's just what you're interested in.
It's just like weird to me, I don't know.
That's not weird. Nothing that you do is weird.
One, two, three.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.